welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my October wrap up. I cannot believe that it's already November, like the end of the year is pretty much here. So yeah, I figured let's go ahead and do our October wrap up so we can get to November and December and I can do my yearly wrap up, because this month I completed the goal of reading 100 books. I have actually read 105 books. I think I read 10 books this month, which is pretty good, especially like with school and how much like I have going on. So I'm pretty proud of that. We're gonna talk about all the books that I read this month. I read 6 on my Kindle and 4 physical copies, I believe, or maybe it was 9 books I read. Pretty sure it was 10. Let me check real quick. It was only 9. I'm reading my 10th book right now. Let's talk about all of the books that I read. Let's go ahead and just get started. So the first book I want to talk about is Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I know I put this in my September wrap up, but I was like kind of in the middle of reading that whenever I was dropping that video up. I think I finished this like literally October 1st. I gave it a 5 stars, of course, because Rose and Connor are beautiful. I love them. I relate to Rose a lot, and I also just love Connor so much, and his growth in this book was beautiful. Like, genuinely, I feel like I'm friends with all these people, and it just makes it that much better. I feel like everybody's read this book, or I can't really say anything about it because like it's a part of a big old series. There's just so much I didn't expect out of this book that I got out of it, and I'm so happy. I just want the best for these characters. And then I'm gonna do my physical books first. So the next physical book that I read was Hot House Flower. Daisy and Reich are my favorite. I gave this a 5 stars as well. Daisy and Reich are my favorite couple. They're my favorite characters because I just love how raw these characters are. Like Rose and Connor, I feel like they're always putting up a front. They're not truly ever being themselves, but like in this book you get to see that kind of unravel and them get to be themselves more. But Daisy and Reich are themselves 110% of the time, which is just so beautiful. I love how carefree Daisy is. I love how protective Reich is like of her. I enjoyed reading their story so much. I think I read it in like 2 days because I just could not put it down. I literally tabbed so much of it. I really enjoyed these 2 books. Every single month I try to read like 1 or 2 of the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, just because like I do want to finish the series, but I don't want to completely rush through it so I don't get burnt out. The next book that I read was A Hate Like This by Violet Bloom. This has been on my TBR for such a long time. I bought the physical book this summer, and ever since then I've wanted to read it. It's not a very popular book. I just like was scrolling through Instagram one day and I saw someone post about it and I was like, oh my gosh, that literally sounds like my kind of book. It's about Haley Winters and Will Roberts. Haley is a bad girl, quote unquote like bad girl. She's from the Southside gang. She lives on the wrong side of town, you know. She is the daughter of the leader of the gang. She has a lot of secrets, and Will Roberts, he's like the golden boy, the good boy. His dad is the sheriff. They both go to the same school, and they've been enemies since their first day of pre-K. And then one day everything changes. They decide to become enemies with benefits, and that turns into a beautiful friendship. I don't really think Will is so much of like a good boy as you would expect it. Like, he's a jock, he's a football player, he kind of has a big head. They just call him like the golden boy just because of who his sheriff is, and he tries to do the right thing, but he is like a jock and he's kind of annoying at first. I'm not gonna lie, the first half of this book was just filled with drama and filled just with like stupid stuff that could have been boiled down to like 100 pages, 150 instead of 200 straight pages of it. Once you got to the second half of the book is whenever it really got interesting, because that's whenever they really started to talk and to connect and to really dig deep into like their trauma and what they've gone through. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, or maybe I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because I didn't enjoy the first half. Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. I just think some parts could have been like chopped down or could have been left out, you know, but it is a self-published book and it is really good. It's the first one that I've read by this author. I don't know if she has any more, but it's really good. I will say, if you are gonna buy it, beware that the words in here are very, very tiny. It took a lot of eye focusing for me to be able to read this book. It was really good. It really was. And I genuinely love Haley Winters. She's such a good character because she's so raw. Like, she's not annoying, which I really enjoyed, because sometimes you read these kind of books and the main girl is just like really annoying, and so you sit there and you're like, I don't know if I really want to read this. But she's not annoying, which I am very thankful of. And then the last physical book, which is probably the most anticipated read of this year for me, is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I know that there's a lot of like controversy over this book right now. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think it's mediocre, but then there's a group of people, including me, who love this book and who gave it like a 6 out of 5 stars. It was so good. This book was everything that I expected. I think what people fail to realize is that in the beginning of the book, she literally says that there was not supposed to be a sequel to It Ends With Us, but so many people wanted it. So many people wanted to see these two happy, and I think a lot of people forget that, and a lot of people undermine the fact that like she wrote this book for us, and the fact that we are sitting here bashing on it is like, it's kind of rude, you know, because she took her time to make this book for us, and it wasn't like a money grab. Of course she's gonna make a bunch of money off of the book because like it was so wanted, and like it's such a big thing in the whole entire book community. I feel like a lot of people forget the fact that like this book wasn't supposed to happen, but she wrote it for us, and this book was beautiful. It literally, all it is Lily and Atlas being happy, and there's found family in this book. Oh my gosh, guys, this book is beautiful. I loved it. I literally read it in like one sitting because I enjoyed it so much. There's really not a lot of drama in here. Of course, like every book is gonna have its conflict, and the conflict in here was great, and it was like, I don't know, it just felt like real world, like real life kind of stuff. Go read It Ends With Us and then pick up this book. It's just so good. It's so good. So now we're gonna talk about all of my Kindle reads that I read this month. I read a good bit of them, and a lot of them I think I enjoyed. So the first book that I read on my Kindle was A Hole in My Heart by E.L. Todd. This book is number 15 from the Forever and Ever series. If you remember last month, if you watched that wrap up, all it was me talking about how I read 14 books from this series. Towards the end of that month, I was like, okay, I don't really want to be reading this anymore. And then October came, and I was like, okay, kind of want to see where it picks back up. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what's going on from this book. It feels like 2 months ago whenever I read this book, like genuinely. Don't remember anything about it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Figured I would remember something, but I didn't. So yeah. The next book that I read was Promises We Meant to Keep by Monica Murphy. This is her new release. I believe it came out this month. There's a lot of new releases I actually read this month. I think I read 3 of them. This is the second one. This book is a Lancaster prep book. I wish I bought the physical copy of this book. I think I want to get it because it was a 5 out of 5 star book for me. It was so freaking good. It is a brother's best friend book, kind of just sneaking around. And then that's like their past, and then you flash forward what, like 4 years or 3 years or something like that, and they are enemies. They are not together. They don't like each other. They still have a bunch of secrets between them, and she kind of runs away, and he tries to go and find her, and he follows her, and it's her healing from a lot of trauma that like her family put her through, and him realizing just how much trauma that she had because growing up she's always been told that she's a liar about everything, and he comes to the realization that she wasn't lying, and they become really, really close again. And it's basically them healing, and he's so patient with her, and she's very understanding. Like, didn't feel like super toxic. It didn't feel like it was so messy, kind of, in that sense. Like, they were best friends. They were like a little couple type of thing. Had like something happen, they had a gap, they come back, they're kind of enemies, 2 lovers again, and I don't know, that story was just, it was just so good. It really was. The next book that I picked up, which is one of my new favorite books of all time. I need to get the physical copy of it so bad. It's called Icebreaker. It's by Hannah Grace. This book is so good, guys. It is a sports romance kind of in a way. She is an ice skater and he is a hockey player. I'm sure you've heard about this book on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok, but it's so freaking good. Basically, one day the hockey team, something happens to their rink, and they have to share the rink with the ice skaters, and the girl, her best friend slash partner, does not like the jock that's like trying to pursue the girl from the hockey player team, and something happens to him, and then the hockey player has to fill in for him, and so the girl and the guy starts like skating together. That's what the book is marketed as, but a lot of stuff like happens before that and after that. It's so good. This relationship, not toxic, not a lot of drama. It's literally, it has no miscommunication. Like, this book is the communication trope. Like, it's so freaking good. I felt like I was friends with all these characters, and just I loved all of the guys from this book. I love the girl. I didn't think that she was like whiny or anything, which I find a lot of books like have like a whiny girl main character and I can't stand it anymore, but it's so good. I felt like I was like friends with these people, you know what I mean? There's supposed to be more books coming out, which I'm super excited about because I really enjoyed this author's writing. So good. 5 out of 5 stars if you cannot tell. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was great. The next book that I read is When Nothing Else Matters by Catherine J. I honestly do not remember like anything from this book. I believe it's not a brother's best friend, but like the boys like play on a football team and like her brother was a part of the football team and she goes to the school. I believe she has a bunch of secrets. Some happen with her family. He's trying to like uncover them and like get close to her. She's like pushing him away, but they're together. I don't know. It was really confusing. I honestly do not remember much of this book. I give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I did not enjoy it, obviously, because I don't remember anything. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say for that book, like at all. And then the last book that I read for this month is Quarterback Sneak by Candy Steiner. This is her new release. I think I read it like the day it came out or the day after it came out. It is apparently a part of a series, which I did not read the first 2, but it's the 3rd book. I didn't read the first 2. I don't really want to read the first 2, to be honest. I like looked at them and I read the synopsis and I was like, I don't really want to read this. I gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars. I really didn't enjoy this one either. It's basically the girl is the daughter of the coach of the football team and she's like untouchable. She had like a lot of stuff happen to her, a lot of trauma. The guy tries to get close to the girl and she like tells him like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, and then they get together and then they get caught. Crap happens. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy this book. I thought the plot was kind of messy. I thought it was, I don't know, it just wasn't interesting to me. I know a lot of other people really enjoyed it. They were really excited about this one, but I personally just didn't enjoy this book at all. I love Candy Steiner's writing. Literally, A Love Letter to Whiskey is my favorite book of all time, but this one just didn't do it for me and I don't really want to read the other books from this series. I'm sure that they're good, but I just don't care to read them, you know? So yeah, those are all the books I read this month. I think I read like a pretty good amount. Like I read some really great books physically. I read some okay books and some good books from my Kindle. I'm really trying to get through all my physical books at this point. Like I love reading on my Kindle, do not get me wrong. I have so many other books I want to read on here. I'm really trying to get through all my physical books as well because I have a lot of unread physical books, like a lot more than I thought I did. So I'm trying to get through all of those. I really want to read a lot more of the Addicted series. I want to finish the Shatter Me series. I have the Bridgerton series I'm in the middle of. I love reading series. The thing is, I get to like the middle of it and then I stop reading the series and it's like, okay, I need to pick it back up. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and leave a like because I do book videos all the time. I'm trying to get back on a regular posting schedule. It's just been a little crazy because I've been kind of procrastinating YouTube in a way and like I have so many other stuff, but it's coming towards the end of the semester, which is really exciting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you all later. Peace out.